Hello, viewers, and welcome to The Resilient Woman. It's a program where we'll be highlighting various women for International Women's Day. I'm Stacey Carmichael, and today we'll be chatting with Miss Esther Bruyning. She is a pastor and the owner of the Alpha Children's Home right here in New Amsterdam, Berbice. Tell us a little bit about Esther Bruyning, your upbringing, and how did you end up becoming a pastor?
Okay, my parents were Christians. We were brought up in a Christian home. And at a very early age, after attending church, getting to know all about Jesus Christ, I gave my life to the Lord at an early age. And later on, I wanted to pursue a career because I felt that God had called me to preach the gospel as such. And at the age 19, I left Bartica and I went to Bible school. There I was trained as a missionary. And later on, I got married to my husband, who is a pastor. And we began to pioneer churches all over Guyana. And as we pioneer churches, we will remain in some of them, pastor them for a couple of years, and then move on. So basically, I knew that that was supposed to be my life.
Okay, great. And how did you transition into the orphanage?
Okay, that's a good question. As we were traveling from Georgetown to New Amsterdam every weekend to pioneer a church up here, we saw the plight of children. We saw a lot of children living on the streets. Children were abandoned. They were in those days, we had the stelling where the ferry would cross over. And as we would come up to the ferry to cross over, we would see children sleeping on the stelling, sleeping by the marketplaces and on the streets begging. And we looked at them, my husband and I, and we thought that we needed to do something to help these children. They're our own Guyanese children. And if their parents have abandoned them, if they were left alone, we need to do something as the church to help our children. So that was the thing that, really sparked our hearts to start this orphanage so that we can care for the abandoned and orphaned children in our nation.
Great. And how long has the orphanage been in existence, and what was it like over the years, meeting so many different children? They come in and then they leave. How was the experience for you?
It has been an experience in that we have cared here for over 150 children for the past 30 years. And at the age 18, they would have to leave because that was the cutoff years for the Ministry of Social Security for Children. And it was not easy when they have to leave. But what has happened over the years, is as children come in and they reach the age to leave, new ones will come in and the older ones will go out. So you never felt empty nested. You always knew that, as children would leave, children will come in. And they will come and they will go, and they will come and they will go. And it has always been such a joy and a privilege to raise these children and to train them. We were not only concerned about, feeding them and letting them go, but we were concerned about them being a whole child. We helped them to see that they needed not only an education as such or clothes, but we give them love. We train them in a way so that as they grow up and become adults, they will be valuable adults in society. So, it was a challenge for us having to, there was a time when we had about 34 children at one time. Wow. And it was really a challenge to find food and clothing and everything. But the government helped us. People in the community helped us. we were never alone in the task that we undertook. We had the church standing with us. The church was a very good brace for us as we developed people as we pioneered churches here in the New Amsterdam area. The church has always been a source of help and inspiration. We also had to start a church right in the compound because it became very hard after a time to get these children to go from Gay Park here to New Amsterdam, to fellowship, because we are a couple of miles. We are in Borbies, in New Amsterdam, but we were away from the church that we had pioneered. That was in the heart of New Amsterdam itself. And it came that time when we had to set up a church here for the community. And our children were a very integral part of what we were doing.
Great, Miss Esther. Now, let me ask you a question. If you had to live this life over, would you change anything as it relates to the path that you've chosen, or do you find fulfillment in the journey called life, your life?
It's ironic that you would ask me that question, because I was fellowshipping about 10 minutes ago with my friend, and I was telling her if I had it to do all over again, I would do the very same things that I have done for all these years. I love dealing with people. I love pastoring. I love having to care for children. Right now I have a little boy, he's 6 years old. He came to us when he was 3 days.
Wow.
And after the pandemic broke out and, we had to replace the children, the ones get older. We had to send them to the Chavez house. He was left with me. And right now it is he and I. He's just 6 years old, he's going to be 7. And the good thing about it, the exciting thing about it, he was born on my birthday.
Oh, wow.
He was born on the 3rd of July. And the two of us connect so great. And he's been my little companion right now until we begin to refill the home again. But our plan at some point in time is to continue the orphanage.
Okay.
Yeah,
Great.
but I'll do it all over again. I'll do the very same things. I would want to be a better pastor. I would want to be a better mother to these children, because sometimes I feel like I have not done a very good job. And I think that if I have to do it again, I would do it better than I did it before.
Okay, great, great. Now, before we close off the interview, what advice would you give to women? We know it's International Women's Day coming up, and we're celebrating throughout the month of March, women. What advice would you give to women in the household, in their career, just general advice to women?
I would want to say to women, it is good first of all, for you to know who you are. Find yourself. If you don't know who you are, if you have not found yourself, you will never be able to help anybody else. You will try in your own strength. You will try to do things that could, appease how you feel. But when and when I say find yourself, know who you are. You can only know who you are when you have a relationship with the Lord Jesus Christ. When He comes into your life, when you begin to build a relationship with Him, He will reveal to you, because we have to remember that we were born soul, body, and spirit. And the spirit part of us is that part of us that communicates with God. And the God who has brought us on this earth, He's the only one can show us what we are here to do. What was His plans for us being here on earth. So that's the thing I would tell women. Know who you are, and you can only know yourself through Jesus Christ. By having the Spirit of God bringing that kind of revelation to you, so that you'll be able to be effective in whatever you have been called to do. So that's my encouragement to women.
And Miss Esther, do you have any children of your own?
Yes.
Could you tell us a little bit about your family? You spoke about the orphanage, But let's hear
Right.
about your other family.
I have a son and I have a daughter. My daughter, they both now live in the United States. My husband also is there because of medical reasons. That's the reason why he's not here at this time. But our children have been great support to what we are doing over the years. They, ever since they were little, they were involved in working with the orphanage, with the children, and they have found a real joy in doing whatever they're doing. There are times when I would ask them, tell us, tell me where I have failed you as a mom, because there were times when my husband and I used to be traveling all over the world doing ministry, and we had them. They were cared for by very close friends and relatives, and sometimes I feel a little guilty because I had to leave them. But you know what? My daughter always says to me, "Mommy, when y'all were gone, we were happy. We were very happy children, because who you left to look after us, they did everything for us." I remember it was my son's birthday one time, and they sent us pictures of him sticking cake and having a party, and just like if we were there. So my daughter, she's a nurse. She's a RN in the United States, and my son, he works for a cyber technology company, and they're doing very well. They're happy children. And then I have two grandsons
Oh, great.
that I am, passing on the life and the legacy to. I encourage them to walk with the Lord, and they have given their lives over to Jesus as well, and they're living for God. And I really thank God for what He has done in our family, in our children's life, and and what He's doing for my husband. And we're moving on. We're getting older, but we are not retreating. We are moving on to the next level into whatever God has for us.
Okay, great. Well, thank you so much. It was really a pleasure chatting with you today. I wish we had more time, but of course we can always come back and hear a little bit more about the children's home, and we look forward to when you guys are fully back into operation, after the whole COVID-19 pandemic. And I wish you well.
Thank you
for joining us. So there you have it for this episode of The Resilient Woman. We were chatting with Miss Esther Bruyning. She is a pastor and founder of the Alpha Children's Home right here in New Amsterdam, Berbice. Remember to look out for other episodes that will be aired until the 11th of March on all the Big Smith News Watch platforms. Thank you.
Hope you've been enjoying the music. Let's pause for a quick commercial break.
It's bigger than ever. It's Comfort Sleep Massive Debt Sale again. 26th of March at Comfort Sleep Echoes Industrial Site East Bank from 7 a.m. to 3 p.m. Biggest bargains, biggest deals. Don't miss this
I've
opportunity.
been saving and waiting for this all this time.
It's bigger than ever. It's Comfort Sleep Massive Debt Sale again. 26th of March at Comfort Sleep Eccles Industrial Site, East Bank Demerara from 7 a.m. to 3 p.m. Biggest bargains, biggest deals. Don't miss this
I hope
opportunity.
you got money to buy. Listen, toys. Comfort Sleep things will be so affordable. I can get what I want with the money I get. Alright? So let's don't waste no time. Let me go early to Comfort Sleep before Miss Noreen buy the whole of Comfort Sleep.
All COVID-19 safety measures will be observed. Don't miss this opportunity.
Comfort Sleep. Sleep on, dream on.